Hi guys, this is my first video on Writer Life, and I want to talk to you all about being an author and my journey to publication. So just to give you a little backstory, I first sold my first novel to Harlequin Mills and Boon, and they were a fantastic publisher that I worked with on more than 12 novels. I also at the same time signed with Laura Bradford at Bradford Literary Agency, and that's been a relationship that's now been ongoing for I think about 7-8 years now, and I certainly highly recommend having a great agent in your team, but I do acknowledge that it is a really hard task to find an agent. It can be one of the toughest things, finding the right agent for you, and you don't want to sign with just any agent because there are plenty of horror stories out there about people who have signed with an agent and it's ended up being the wrong agent for them. So I can thoroughly recommend having an agent so long as it's the right one. I then moved on to writing single title books for St. Martin's Press and also for Amazon Publishing under their Lake Union imprint, which I still do. And I also have a wonderful children's series that I write for Penguin Publishing as well. So one of the things I really want to talk to you all about is being a storyteller. As I said in my opening video, you don't need to be the most perfect writer. You don't need to know every in and out of grammar or be that perfect English major writer, although no offense, if you do have an English major, that's fantastic. I personally have an MFA, which was something I did, which is a Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, which is something I did for myself to really validate my writing, but it's certainly not necessary to have a degree or any other accreditation as long as you know in here that you're a storyteller and you're committed to working on your craft. Now, I started out writing at a very young age. I was always scribbling ideas in my notebook. I was always the one reading at the dinner table and hoping my parents wouldn't tell me to put the book away. And that love of words and reading and writing carried right through my teenage years, where I wrote all kinds of unusual poetry and long rambling chapters about various stories that I thought were fantastic, but I was always distracted by the next shiny idea. I think a lot of women come to writing perhaps when they have young children and they're maybe on leave from work or not working at the time, and sometimes it's a great way to actually turn those ideas you've had for some time into reality on the page. So no matter what time you come at writing, whether it's when you're 18 years old, where you're in your 20s and balancing career and job or writing full time, whether you're retired and that's the time you've finally had to actually develop your love of writing and the written word, don't worry about when you start, just make sure you do start, because so many people talk about wanting to write a book or being a writer, but unless you're actually writing, you're not ever going to get there. No publisher is ever going to say they love your idea and they want to publish you unless you actually have a book to show them or a manuscript, which is one of the reasons I think that you're already so much closer if you're already writing a book to anybody else who wants to write one. The pre-published years are brutal. I'm not going to say that they're not hard, because they are. First of all, it's really hard writing a book. Second of all, trying to get other people to take you seriously, even though you know that writing is something that's important to you and it may be something that you want to turn into a very valid career. It's hard to make other people understand that it's a valid career option, and also that it's something that should be treated as a genuine, real business. And I fully believe that if you are writing, you need to treat it as a business. I personally have always treated my writing as a business. I was working full-time as a journalist and a freelance writer, as well as working on manuscripts. That was before I had children, which certainly helped because it gave me more time to dedicate to my writing. But it was really hard to tell people that I'm writing a book and that I want to be an author without hearing, oh, I want to write a book one day as well, or, you know, just not taking me seriously. In fact, I was told at the time that the chances of me being published and becoming a published author were as likely as becoming a supermodel. Now, the odds of becoming a supermodel sound pretty slim to me, so it didn't sound good. But trust me, if you believe in yourself and you know that you love storytelling and that you're committed to becoming a writer or being an author, then don't let anybody knock you. And remember that the struggle between work and life balance, especially if you have children or someone else in your life, whether it's an elderly relative or parent or a husband or wife or partner, it's hard But nothing in life comes easy, and if you want to be an author, you need to work hard. And trust me, even after you sell, it's still hard. You will be asked to rewrite manuscripts. You will be asked to make so many changes. It makes your heart break, but it's all worth it, and you really do need to treat this as a business. So let's get into more of the writing craft. My first session is going to be on conflict, understanding conflict, and what you need to do to create strong internal and external conflict. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's the only way I can deliver videos to you free of charge. And every subscription counts, so please do subscribe. Also, I'd love you to visit my website, which is www.sorayalane.com. That's SORAYALANE.com. And you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you have any questions at all about writing, please do leave a question. I want to answer your questions and provide content that really helps you in your quest to become a published author. Talk soon.